Hello and welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. This rainy Thursday in Abuja, I'm Najat Tijani. Remember that this broadcast is being streamed live on our website, nta.ng/live. Do follow us across social media. Our handles are displayed on the screen. And now the news in detail. The Federal High Court has convicted and sentenced one of the two alleged notorious Ansaru terrorist group commanders, Mahmoud Usman, to 15 years in prison for illegal mining. Mahmoud Usman pleaded guilty to one of the 32 counts proffered against him. Olabade Arewa reports.
Mahmoud Usman, who was the first defendant, pleaded guilty to engaging in illegal mining in the forests, but not guilty of other crimes. Abubakar Memuda, on his part, pleaded not guilty to all the charges. The 32-count charge against them include kidnapping for ransom, financing and recruiting for terror operations, as well as illegal mining.
The second defendant did not plead guilty to any count. So to ensure that we are able to protect our witnesses, to ensure the security, they have to be remanded at the custody of the Department of State Services. Of course, in portions to ensure that people that have committed offenses against the people, against the nation, are held accountable.
This goes to further tell you that we are not playing. We are serious with the security of our country. And as you can see, we are almost in court every day.
Although there were arguments as to whether Mahmoud Usman should commence his 15-year sentence immediately, Justice Emeka Nwite ruled that they should all remain in DSS custody till the conclusion of their trial. The matter is adjourned to October 20 for continuation of the trial. In Abuja, Olabade Arewa, NTA News.
Meanwhile, troops of 12th Brigade Nigerian Army, supported by hybrid forces and local vigilante, have freed 17 hostages, comprising 13 adults and 4 children in Kogi State. Acting on intelligence received on September 10, 2025, the troops mobilized to Opamaru village and trailed the kidnappers to Wuro village, where they engaged and overpowered the criminals. The rescued were taken to the 12th Brigade Medical Center for treatment. The Nigerian Army, reaffirming its commitment to protecting lives and property, urges Nigerians to continue providing timely information to support ongoing operations. The Nigerian Air Force has set the ball running with a visionary blueprint expected to address complex systemic challenges with respect to climate change, energy, poverty reduction and security. This is on the heels of a collaboration with the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative. The Chief of the Air Staff received CNG buses on behalf of the Nigerian Air Force, signaling the transformation initiative. Olajide Bello reports.
The partnership is poised to create a multiplier effect to reduce Nigeria's carbon footprint, improving operational efficiency within the military and promoting local content development in the energy sector. By aligning military capability with sustainable energy innovation, Nigeria demonstrates that the path to resilience and prosperity lies not in silos, but in synergy.
So for us in the Nigerian Air Force, this development is of strategic importance. The integration of compressed natural gas-powered platforms into Nigerian Air Force's operations represents a step toward reducing reliance on conventional fuels, cutting operational costs, and aligning military support services with national energy reforms.
This is about the commitment to sustainable, safer, innovative way, and to pitch in to the initiative established and created by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And this is our own way of saying thank you to the Nigerian Air Force for defending us all this while.
This collaboration not only reflects Nigeria's growing commitment to environmental sustainability, but also marks a paradigm shift in how military institutions can contribute to national energy security and climate action. Olajide Bello, NTA News.
Still on defense and security, the Managing Director, Defense Health Maintenance, Rear Admiral Aziz Afolayan, is advocating regular release of funds to the agency for enhanced healthcare delivery to military veterans. He said this at an interactive session with representatives of military veterans groups in Abuja. Rear Admiral Abdulaziz Afolayan explains that funds meant for veterans' healthcare released by the federal government through the National Health Insurance Authority before reaching Defense Health Maintenance for distribution to the services.
For regular disbursement of the fund as approved by the government or by NHI Act. That's what we're asking for. Regular disbursement to enable us discharge our duties to the veterans.
The DHMS stands as a point for us to see where we can channel our health care. Sometimes it may not cover all that our health speaks for, but again, the DHMS stand in between to see how you get better health care.
We must also appreciate them at least for, having us in mind even after retirement. Our families, all their dependents, not all anyway, those that are duly registered have receiving treatment as at when due and whenever they go for their treatment.
Interactive Forum, which brought together veterans associations, is aimed at improving service delivery, bridging knowledge gaps and strengthening collaboration between government and retired military personnel. To power now. The federal government has inaugurated the first power training center in Nigeria to address the manpower gap by building skills in the power sector. The Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, said the training center will drive ongoing reforms in the sector. Joshua Ojito reports.
Standing tall at the Idu Industrial Layout in Abuja is the first power training center in the country, built and equipped with the support of the European Union and French Development Agency.
It simply symbolizes France's continued commitment to supporting Nigeria on its path to inclusive and sustainable development in the energy sector.
This is what we are doing by removing this bottleneck, which is the shortage of skilled workforce in the power sector. We are going to encourage, facilitate investment by the private sector.
The center is expected to provide the needed training for personnel working in generation, transmission and distribution arms of the electricity value chain, thereby driving innovations for a competitive electricity market in line with the new Electricity Act.
Equipped with modern facilities and technology, our workshops will enable us to enhance the quality of vocational training, ensuring that our trainees are not only well prepared to meet the current challenges in the sector, but also positioned to embrace future advancement.
Minister of Power Adebayo Adelabu inaugurates the edifice, describing it as a citadel of learning not only for industry players in Nigeria, but Africa at large.
This is yet another stride in the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President, which ensures that the development of our nation lies in providing key infrastructure that will provide hope for a vibrant, youthful population and transform into meaningful economic prosperity.
The coming on board of the center, the National Power Training Institute of Nigeria, NAPTIN, is optimistic that challenges of quackery and lack of personnel in Nigerian electricity supply industry will be addressed. Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
Still on power, which is a major driver of development of any nation, it makes an impact in economic growth, quality of life, and national security. The contrast between current power generation capacity and required demand poses a significant challenge, making the search for alternative energy imperative. Ebinimi Zitumyola reports.
Nigeria, a developing nation with an estimated population of over 200 million people, is challenged by inadequate power supply. Power generated to serve the domestic and industrial needs at peak stood at about 6,000 megawatts, while experts recommend 200,000 megawatts. Beyond inadequate power generation, transmission, distribution and maintenance issues, vandalism have also been blamed for frequent collapse of the national grid.
People are now neglecting the power of the national grid, and everybody's trying to cater for themselves.
You don't spend money on fuel. 2, the environment, combustion is not also there. Noise pollution is not there.
The government has also come up with solar lighting. Then this NDGC has come up with the Light Up Niger Delta.
The Bayelsa State government is leveraging the huge gas deposits and has approved the procurement for a 60 megawatts gas turbine plant.
I've done so far more than 70% of the balance of plants. If the pressure resistance and metering scale comes in, what that means is that we'll be ready now to receive the power plants and then construct what the in-plant piping and instrumentation works, and then we are good to go.
Ebinemi Zitemiola, NTA News.
Still on the alternative energy projects in Bayelsa State, Ebinemi is in Azikoro Road to tell us what she has gathered from the ongoing projects. Ebinemi, over to you.
From the background report, we told you that the Bayelsa State government is leveraging the huge gas deposits in the state and has procured a 60 megawatt gas turbine. Just a few days back, the state government also signed a memorandum of understanding with a firm based in Dubai, investing $3 million in solar panel production and the production of smart meters in Bayelsa State. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has also, in a statement, directed the Port Harcourt Electricity Distribution Company to incorporate subsidiary that will assume responsibilities for the supply and distribution of electricity in Bayelsa State. So all these are ongoing efforts, if pursued intentionally, will enhance access to power and efficiency, and of course open up new opportunities for economic growth and investments, and also a cleaner and sustainable energy.
Thank you, Ebinemi. I can see you're really excited about that. I don't blame you. Bayelsa is beautiful, and I'm sure it will extend throughout the nation. And now the federal government's adoption of all year-round farming as a policy to enable Nigerians afford and have access to nutritional foods has hit the ground running. The Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Sabi Abdullahi, said this at a capacity-building workshop for members of the Senate Press Corps. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
Ultimately, a reporter's task is to provide citizens with information that they need for effective participation in civic affairs.
The minister is here to join others for paper presentation on the topic parliamentary reporting, issues, challenges and responsibilities. But he used the opportunity to highlight efforts of government in meeting the most basic need of Nigerians.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's vision for Nigeria is for us to have what we call food sovereignty, which means we should have sufficient food produced by our own citizens, consumed by our own citizens, such that our part dependent, if you want to call it that, to other sources is minimal.
He also said challenges in the food value chain, like post-harvest loss and the high cost of transportation, are being tackled, while a health scheme for Nigerian farmers will be launched soon. He urged journalists to join hands with government in driving the successful implementation of all policies. The capacity-building workshop provided a platform to remind practitioners, especially those on the legislative beat, to always report with clarity.
Democracy thrives only when Parliament and the press operate a responsible synergy. Parliamentary reporting is not simply another newsroom assignment. It is a sacred democratic duty.
The parliamentary reporter is the institutional memory of the legislature, and their experiences are meant to guide incoming and seasoned legislators on precedents and how not to conduct businesses either in plenary, committees, oversight hearings, and indeed diplomatic engagement involving the National Assembly.
The workshop aims at improving skills of participants for effective reporting of the constitutional mandate of the National Assembly. Lami Ali, NTA News.
Still talking agriculture, but this time nutrition. Access to safe, unadulterated and nutritious food for all dominated discussions at a sensitization program on forced ripening of fruit, adulterated palm oil, contaminated meat and grain by the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission in Enugu. Blessing Anyanwu reports that stakeholders dwelt extensively on the causes and health risks of food adulteration and contamination.
For strict adherence to food regulations has become a matter of urgent public interest. Unsafe food not only endangers lives, but undermines trust in markets, disrupts trade, and damages the reputation of businesses. Executive Vice Chairman, Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, represented, said the Commission has continued to work closely with relevant agencies to improve food safety laws and consumer rights.
We organized this program to gather relevant stakeholders to come and hear from the experts on how to harvest food, process them, and make it safe for consumers.
This program is central to our dedication to educate and empower consumers, farmers, vendors, and all stakeholders involved in the food supply chain.
His Excellency has already ordered for the Committee for Food Safety in Enugu be set up immediately to go around the markets, go around all our food locations, and begin to monitor what people give out to the public.
It is illegal to use calcium carbide because calcium carbide itself is very, very poisonous.
Farmers, food processors, vendors, and business owners in agreement assured of safety protocols in line with national and international standards.
We have to buy something that is good for our health. All this preservative, something that are using chemical to do, is quite unhealthy to our body.
It is established that improper handling and contamination across food value chain not only endanger lives of millions of Nigerians, but also erode consumer trust. In Enugu, Blessing Anyanwu, NTA News.
Thank you, Blessing. From Enugu, let's head to Lagos, where Adiola is standing by with more reports. Adiola.
Agricultural practices are not a luxury, but a necessity for sustainable yields and environmental stewardship. To accomplish this, the Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation has organized 3-day retreat and training on best approaches to elevating farming from a subsistent to resilient and productive enterprise. Dana Jali has more on this.
Like the saying goes, water is life, and it is the heartbeat of agriculture, the lifeline of communities and the bedrock of every nation's development. Yet, this valuable resource is increasingly under threat from the impacts of climate change, presenting realities with extreme weather events such as flooding, drought, and widespread soil degradation.
Develop, monitor, and...
This third edition of staff retreat by the Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation is therefore focusing on how to identify early warning systems, positive measures in tackling challenges of climate change.
And we are also championing the new the pet project of Her Excellency, the wife of Mr. President, that is the Abraham A Garden. Also, greenhouse agriculture also will help farmers to produce food year-round. We expect to add to the food basket not less than maybe 500,000 tons of food, of various food products.
Director, River Basin Operations and Inspectorate represented highlighted the importance of water resources to agricultural produce and ways of boosting farming in Nigeria.
This holistic approach seeks to manage water, land, and related resources in an integrated manner rather than in silos. By doing so, we create the best framework for coordinating the conservation, management, and development of basic resources across multiple sectors within each catchment.
addressing climate information for decision-making, climate resilience, water management, and irrigation practices for sustainable food production were some of the key issues discussed. The theme of the workshop is water resources management as it affects climate change and agricultural production. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
Spotlighting challenges, cultivating substantive dialogue and co-creating viable solutions are fundamental to nurturing a vibrant media ecosystem. With this imperative at its core, the organizers of Nigeria Electronic Media Content Exhibition and Awards NMCA 2025 series are crafting a landmark event poised to shape Nigeria's media landscape at its 4th edition. Adejoke Odeka will tell us more.
Every industry is said to have a clog in its wheel of progress, and Nigeria's media landscape is no exception. The Nigerian Electronic Media Content Exhibition and Awards, NMCA, is set to gather media stakeholders for its 4th edition on the 16th and 17th of September 2025 to brainstorm on sustainable content creation in a fragmented media landscape and to proffer solutions to the industry's content creation challenges.
For the first time in Africa, we are having the DGs roundtable. What that means is that we are bringing the DGs within the space of the broadcast, media, advertising together, to have opportunity of speaking and talking to stakeholders and looking at policies, looking at how the industry can be better off than where we are now, and equally having opportunity of talking to us about how far they are faring in the different agencies.
Beyond addressing industry challenges, the 4th edition of NMCA 2025 will also celebrate media veterans, highlighting their contributions and expertise.
Our industry award is to say people that have done so much in the last 1 year. We come, we create a reward system where we appreciate them and say, kudos, go out and do more.
Gone are the days that it was only TV. Now we have online, we have on your phone, many area technology has changed. So we need to, because we need to look at it. How can we still go into it and still achieve what we want to achieve? How can we deliver to the right people? So this is why we want to gather people together to let them know that there's hope to achieve what we are doing.
Participation in the 4th edition of NMCA 2025 is complimentary. However, registration is obligatory. To engage with industry stakeholders, examine pioneering content creation approaches, and honor outstanding achievements within Nigeria's media sector, participants are expected to register at www.nimcia.com/register. In Lagos, Adejoke Odeka, NTA News.
And those are reports from Lagos. Nationwide will continue with Bilkisu Nuhu in just after the break.
Welcome to JOS. The Nigeria Air Force says academic integrity remains a cornerstone of its educational system as it works to prepare students in its schools for excellence, discipline, and leadership roles in society. Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Bala Abubakar, stated this during the 2025 Annual Education Officers Training Conference in Jos, with the theme, Academic Integrity in Nigeria Air Force Schools, Preparing Students for Success. Priscilla Grumnan reports.
The training conference brought together 173 education officers, managers, and administrators who gathered to exchange ideas, share experiences, and develop strategies aimed at improving the quality of teaching and learning in Nigerian Air Force schools. While appreciating President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his continued support to the Nigerian Air Force, the Chief of Air Staff, represented by Air Vice Marshal Jibrin Usman, noted that beyond academic excellence, the Nigerian Air Force is committed to molding students with integrity and character capable of contributing meaningfully to the service and national development.
As you know,
before anybody is awarded any certificate, he must not only be good in learning, but also good character. And that is the essence of the conference.
The Director of Education, Air Commodore Babangida Zakari, described the conference as an opportunity to review achievements, address challenges, and equip education officers with tools to deliver quality service.
By the time the participants are equipped, they will go back to their various schools and units and formations to impact on our students and learners generally.
Now, educational institutions must prioritize robust plagiarism detection tools alongside comprehensive academic honesty.
The conference featured paper presentations, workshops, panel discussions, interactive sessions, and questions and answers. In Jos, Priscilla Grumnan, NTA News.
Jos University Teaching Hospital is commemorating the 2025 World Suicide Prevention Day with a mental health outreach at the internally displaced persons camp in Riom local government area. Ijoma Ozomina report.
Every 10th of September is celebrated as the World Suicide Prevention Day. In line with this, the Jos University Teaching Hospital Suicide Prevention and Response Unit held a mental health outreach at the community hall Riom IDP camp to commemorate the day. The team leader, Dr. Anna Gyang, also commiserated with them over the incessant attacks in the community.
This year, we have decided to come to Riom to see the internally displaced people. So we are basically here on a mental health outreach, even though we are doing some general health, assessments and giving medications.
The community leader and some of the beneficiaries expressed appreciation for the initiative, noting that the outreach has positively impacted their lives.
Very happy. If the government will continue doing this, we will be very, very much interested.
They are sick. They don't have money to treat themselves. So this program is going to help a lot of people.
We have some that have been crying of ulcer, have been crying of malaria, and I know with these drugs that they've been given, it will help reduce some of the cryings.
In Jos, Ijoma Ozemena, NTA News.
We return to Naja'atu in Abuja for the continuation of Nationwide.
Thank you, Bilkisu, and welcome back to our Abuja studios. Nigeria has made a strong showing at the 4th Intra-African Trade Fair in Algiers, signing trade and investment deals worth more than $110 million, picking up top awards in business and sustainability. Comfort Amadou reports from Algeria.
For 10 days, Algiers became the marketplace of Africa, and Nigeria was right in the mix. The IITF 2025 brought together continental and global players under the AFCFTA, offering access to a unified African market of 1.4 billion people and a combined GDP of more than $3.5 trillion. Nigeria came prepared, showcasing goods, services and opportunities. By the close of the fair, it had secured more than $100 million in deals across sectors, with about 25 memoranda of understanding signed. The recognition also came in awards. Nigeria bagged Best Stand for Doing Business, while Ogun State picked up the prize for Most Sustainable Stand, thanks to its green innovations.
This is a great win for Nigeria and for Nigerians. We have 25 MOUs in different segments, in fashion, in cosmetics, in agro-processing, in solid minerals, in everything, and even in cosmetics. We are going to work with our SMEs to ensure that this is concretized.
Whatever the amount of deal they secure, everything would be executed and there will be enough finance to support the execution of those deals.
We can only move forward and do better. And we have also won an award. So be sure that when it comes to home, we are winning all the awards. All the awards, Nigeria will pick it.
And Nigerians youth had their moment too, as Antonia Alabi won the AU Youth Startups Award.
2 of them were shortlisted to be part of this trade fair exhibition. They are exhibited, one of them who is into seafood and the other one who is into palm oil, having one of the best packaging and the best products among over 2,000 exhibitors. It's a good one for us, and it shows the commitment of our state to supporting MSMEs and creating jobs.
In all, IETF 2025 exceeded projections, closing at $48.3 billion in trade and investment deals, with nearly a quarter officially signed on site. From Algiers, Algeria, Comfort and Modu. NTA News.
And back home in Nigeria, a 3-day retreat on personnel audit and skills gap analysis of federal civil servants has opened in Abuja, marking a critical step towards strengthening human resource management in the Nigerian public service. It was declared open by the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Didi Esther Walson-Jack. Hammanja reports.
By launching this initiative, the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation underscores its commitment to building a modern, efficient and accountable civil service that is equipped to deliver on national priority and provide reliable data that will serve as a foundation for workforce planning, which aligns with the ongoing reforms under the Federal Civil Service Strategic and Implementation Plan, aimed at transforming the civil service into a world-class institution.
We must establish a workforce profile that can be trusted for evidence-based planning, targeted training, efficient deployment, and transparent succession management. Without such data, reforms risk being anchored on assumptions.
First of all, to verify who really is a civil servant. When we've done that, we want to identify what are the capabilities, competence, and strengths of each individual. We're going to go identify the kinds of jobs that we need to fill and the kind of people we need to fill these jobs, and then begin to deal with the gaps that exist in terms of the skills and capabilities with the job that they have to do.
What we are looking at specifically is the harmonization of the methodology, which the lead consultant and the 15 cluster consultants are going to take to carry out this one most important assignment, which is personnel audit and skill gap analysis in federal civil service.
The retreat is to ensure harmonization before going to the field to carry out the personnel audit and skill gap analysis. Hamad Jabani, NTA News.
Now let's talk the health response to the cholera outbreak, which has claimed 40 lives in Sokoto State. The government and health authorities have stepped up emergency response measures, including establishing more isolation centers to contain the disease. Bashir Ibrahim Nababa reports.
Outbreak has spread to 13 local government areas of Sokoto State. Sabon Birni local government bordering the Niger Republic is so far the worst hit, with over 400 recorded cases. Poor sanitation, contaminated water sources and seasonal flooding are set to fuel the spread of the disease. Sokoto State government has, however, intensified its emergency response by providing drugs, consumables and medical supplies to mitigate further escalation. Beyond these, isolation camps have been set up in all the affected local government areas, though observers stress the need for long-term investment in clean water and hygiene facilities to permanently reduce vulnerability.
The state government has been able to train the surveillance actors in the state. In all the 23 local government areas, they have been trained on how to respond to cholera as far as the case detection, case identification.
While recovery efforts continue so far, more than 200 patients have been discharged, with many still on admission in various health facilities. From Sokoto, Bashir Ibrahim Nababa, NTA News.
So we'll join our correspondent in Sokoto, Noura Abdullahi, who is currently at the Sokoto State Ministry of Health, to tell us more about this public health emergency. Noura, what's the update?
Thank you very much. We are at the premises of the State Ministry of Health. We are at the premises of the Sokoto State Ministry of Health. The cholera outbreak in Sokoto has been on for about 35 to 36 weeks now since the beginning of the year. That's from January to date. And the record shows that about 1,583 persons were affected, or seriously affected. And so far the ministry, the Sokoto State government, under the Ministry of Health, have been up and doing to see that they control the menace. And the state government also was able to procure medical facilities. The Sokoto State government has able to procure medical facilities, drugs, and which were shared to about the 13 local government who are seriously affected. The local government which is affected seriously is Sabon Birni local government, with cases of 493 persons, and about 40 persons lost their life, which are community-based deaths. Those that were not able to take to the health facilities, these are the people that normally lost their life in the process.
Before we let you go, Nura, what's the government doing to ensure that there's awareness? And you know, you've already told us what you're doing what the government is doing to curtail the disease, but what is it doing about awareness?
Of course, Sokoto State government were able to train some health personnel who are distributed all the affected local government, which is about 13 local government, like I said, who are able to kind of detect those who are affected with the cholera outbreak. And also, they also use media in kind of giving awareness to all the people in the state.
Right. Thank you very much, Nura. We'll be expecting more updates from you. Let's now join Udwa Kobong in Benin for more reports from that zone.
Niger 2, welcome to Benin. Delta State Governor Sheriff Oboriwuri has approved the immediate release of 10 billion naira to clear outstanding pension arrears owed retirees in the state. This was during a meeting with the pension board. Susanne Su reports.
Governor Oboriwuri said he convened the meeting to address pressing issues concerning the welfare of retirees, including payment of backlogs and migration challenges under the contributory pension scheme. Highlighting the strides of his administration, the governor stated that so far, a total of 36.4 billion naira has been paid in pensions, disclosing that 1.4 billion naira was released for payment of pensions monthly since he assumed office. He emphasized that the state has not defaulted in meeting its monthly pension obligations under his watch.
As a district governor, I've called this meeting to enable us to harmonize government responsibilities to our retirees, such as the backlogs. Backlogs that before I came in, because I pay every month. I have not failed to pay every month.
Chairman of the Bureau for State Pensions, Sir Edwin Ogidi Begbaje, described the governor's announcement as a pleasant surprise, assuring that the 10 billion naira release would serve as a huge relief to retirees.
We always ensure that pensioners' funds are not tampered with. So the impression that there will be reservations as to how the funds will be expended, that is not going to be an issue at all.
Fielding questions from journalists, the state chairman of the Association of Contributory Retirees, Comrade Anthony Ozu Osaneku, expressed appreciation to the governor for what he described as an unexpected and magnanimous gesture.
I'm elated, and I know when this news gets to pensioners, they will all be very, very happy.
In Asaba, Susan Esu, NTA News.
Internally displaced persons currently at the International Christian Center Home for the Needy in Uhogwa, Edo State, shall continue to receive government support to enable them live life to its fullest. The governor gave the assurance during a visit to the IDP camp where he donated food and household supplies. Goodluck Enaini reports that the governor was represented by his special assistant on religious matters, Apostle Sule Faraday.
This is the Uhogwa IDP camp that came into existence at the wake of the Boko Haram insurgents and has played host to different persons from different states. The Edo State governor is visiting the camp the second time. First time was during the governorship campaigns. Items donated include bags of rice, beans, gari, salt, gallons of vegetable oil, tomato paste, soap, disinfectants, toiletries, and other essentials. The gesture is an expression of gratitude and a fulfillment his earlier promise to the camp for prayers and solidarity in the last gubernatorial election, which he described as pivotal to his victory.
The executive governor of Edo State, who doubles as the angel of Edo State, told me to tell you that we will come back before Christmas. We will come in full as a full government of Edo State to celebrate with you all.
Pastor Solomon Folorenshaw is the coordinator of the IDP camp.
We use this medium to thank the governor. In fact, we all love you here, and we stood by you. We are still standing for you and with you forever. You will continue to soar higher and higher in Jesus' name.
From Uhogwa, Goodluck Enaini, NTA News.
And that's it from Benin. Please stay tuned for more on Nationwide.
For staying tuned, and you're welcome to Kaduna on Nationwide. Recent trends in fisheries and livestock research and extension in Nigeria are being tailored towards food security for national sustainability imperatives. Haruna Muhammad reports that the National Agricultural Extension Research and Liaison Services, Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, has presented a footprint for food and nutrition challenges in Nigeria.
Like the saying, agriculture is the backbone of many nations. Nigeria possesses significant potential in food, livestock, and fisheries, driven by a large population and abundant natural resources like arable land and coastal areas. However, realizing this potential is hindered by challenges including food insecurity, climate change, inadequate infrastructure, and post-harvest losses. This scholarly work, Trends in Fisheries and Livestock Research and Extension in Nigeria, unveiled by the National Agricultural Extension and Research Liaison Service, Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, holds opportunities to boost domestic food security, leverage agricultural growth, develop export markets for livestock, and implement technology-driven solutions within the agricultural sector.
And it will go a long way in, that is, enriching agricultural productivity generally, particularly the area of livestock and fishery. It's going to be a wonderful book for researchers, students, and those in animal and fisheries production system. And its application to Nigeria is extremely important. Once these issues are addressed, I can assure you, before a year or two, we will be there. Opportunities are still there. You just will get the right business environment, the right encouragement, to our agricultural scientists in the different universities, the research institute, and even the ministry.
Aside from the emotional moment, though bowing out of service, but not tired, Professor Paul Bolonduro, immense contribution to nutrition and food security will close gaps and spur development of the agricultural sector of the country as a whole to drive economic growth. Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
Following the improvement of security situation in Kaduna State, the UK government has updated its travel advisory, moving the state from a red to an amber zone, allowing its citizens to travel to Kaduna freely without any fear. This was disclosed by the Development Director of the UK's Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, FCDO, during the signing of a new mutual accountability framework agreement with the Kaduna State Governor. Muhammad Marajingi tells us more.
The Kaduna State Government has opened its doors to public engagement through the Open Government Partnership, a move that is already attracting international support. This delegation from the UK Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office are here to strengthen this growing partnership. That was a handshake of commendation and recognition of the state effort in restoring hope and improving security.
One of the things that I'm really here to recognise today is the achievement, the great achievement of the security situation in Kaduna. And for the UK, Kaduna has been moved from the UK travel advice that we give out from red, which was our sort of high alert status, to amber. And we recognise that this is thanks to the steadfast efforts of the Governor, Ubasani.
These achievements have influenced the UK government's decision to deepen its collaboration.
There is work to be done to unlock and creatively unlock the multiple investments.
The state government and the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office have developed a strong partnership based on trust and a shared vision for progress.
The state government promised to sustain this momentum in prioritizing security and good governance to attract more international cooperation. In Kaduna, I am Muhammad Marajingi, NTA News.
That will be all from our Kaduna studios. Is back to Naja'atu for the rest of the stories.
Thank you, Salamatu. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has granted administrative bail to the former Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Mele Kyari, who on Wednesday honored an invitation the Commission extended to him over alleged $7.2 billion fraud during his tenure as boss of the nation's oil company. Kyari was expected to account for funds allocated to the maintenance of Nigeria's refinery during his time in office. The Federal High Court, Abuja Division, has ordered the temporary freezing of 4 bank accounts allegedly linked to Kyari. Justice Emeka Nwite gave the order following an ex parte motion filed by the EFCC. INEC has reaffirmed its commitment to developing the skills and competencies of its workforce to effectively carry out its mandate. The Secretary to the Commission, Mrs. Rose Oreron Anthony, emphasized this while receiving a delegation from the Nigerian Institute of Management at the Commission's headquarters in Abuja. The courtesy visit, led by the President and Chairman of the Council of Nigerian Institute of Management, Chartered, Commodore Abimbola Ayuba, retired, marks a renewed commitment to deepening collaboration between the two institutions, especially in the area of capacity building and professional development. In his remarks, Commodore Ayuba noted the alignment between the core values and vision of INEC and those of the Management Institute, underscoring the relevance of the visit in fostering synergy and mutual growth. President Bola Tinubu condoles with the Delta State government and the All Progressives Congress over the passing of Air Vice Marshal Terry Okorodudu. In a statement by Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, the president also commiserates with the party stalwart's wife, children, Okorodudu family, associates and friends, recognizing his contributions to the APC. The late Air Vice Marshal is credited with cutting out middlemen in the purchase of military platforms in Nigeria. And that concludes Nationwide this Thursday. Thank you for joining us. I'm Naja'atu Tijani.